simply three bows. Standing bows are completely acceptable. If you have no face or bodily issues that don't make the standing or full bows.
Prajna Paramita Heart Sutra.
It is a great mantra. It is a mantra. Here's all it's mantra and say God. Attention! Case 43 from the Book of Serenity. Lao Shan's arising and vanishing. Lao Shan asked Yantu, when arising and vanishing go on unceasingly, what then? Yantu shouted and said, whose arising and vanishing is it? People look at me.
Yes. Move your
Look over me.
position.
I'm the star, I'm the star. So comfortable being the star. Fan? Yes. Fan. Yeah, right there. Cool, cool. Hey. Good morning. My name is Manshin. I am, fingers crossed, about to be a senior student here at New Paltz Zen Center. As it is, I am the first Shuso. I'm the first trainee here at the New Paltz Zen Center at our delightful little Deer Path Hermitage. So thank you for being here to listen to my first talk. And I would not be here if it were not for you. Some of you had more responsibility in that. Thank you, Mom, for giving birth to me. I know it was not an easy task. So we have a few things going on here in this moment. Today, there's much going on, obviously. We've all experienced it. It's the summer solstice. It's a summer solstice. It's the longest day of the year. It's the shortest night of the year, arising and vanishing, happening simultaneously. Because from here on out, the days just get shorter. We have this arising and vanishing back and forth. It's also Father's Day. And that leaves room for a lot of arising and vanishing of maybe thoughts and feelings about who we label as father, who we choose to label as father. Juneteenth was on Friday, so there's that. Also, I don't know if you're aware, the world is actively on fire, like burning. And here we are, sitting in our little Deer Path Hermitage, experiencing all of it, with pain at every turn, with suffering at every turn. And here we sit. So it's not just Shuso Hossen. It's the first one here at New Paltz Zen Center. It's a big freaking day, guys. Like, it's big. It's very, very big. It's a big deal. So how am I supposed to take all of that and put it into one beautiful, cohesive talk? How am I supposed to do that with a beautiful, cohesive talk? I don't know. Thank you so much for coming. No? Okay. So Joanne offered some suggestions as to how to make it possible, how to make this my first Dharma talk absolutely possible. And he shared words from a very, very wise Bodhisattva that I'm going to share with you. And I'm doing so for two reasons. One, I'm hoping that I heeded his advice and that at the end of this talk, you can come and let me know if I was successful in doing so. And then secondarily, I think it is a beautiful indication of why I chose Joanne Sensei as my teacher and why I'm so grateful that he accepted me as a student. From the great Bodhisattva Coco Chanel, before you leave the house, look in the mirror and take at least one thing off. And last night during our talk, yesterday during a conversation, he said, maybe take 2 or 3 things off. I came to Zen practice by way of sign language interpreting. One of my labels is as a sign language interpreter, and I studied intensively for 2 years at what was at the time the only deaf master degree conferring university for sign language interpreting. And I was all in. I had a good career in New York. I was paid well. And I gave it up. And I went to go study sign language interpreting for some bizarre reason. Yes. So I was 30 years old when I started my master's degree. I moved into a dorm. I was around deaf people all of the time. I was in this soup of deaf culture because I wanted to be the best interpreter that I could be. I wanted to understand profoundly how this culture works. I wanted to know the inner workings. And so in our studies in the class, we dissected language. We analyzed it. We took it in. How can this be interpreted? What does it mean? What does this mean? I get paid to make meaning. This is what I do. I've been doing it for 20 some odd years. I get paid to make meaning. I'm trained to make meaning after intensive study and 20 plus years of practice. In addition to just the words, we have to think about how things are said. You look good today. It's very different than you look good today. It's not just the words. It's the intent. It's the meaning. What's there? What's at the core of it? And also, who else is in the room? Who am I interpreting for? Are they going to understand me? What language do I need to make in order for them to understand me so that we can be connected, so that they have full access to what's going on in the room? So trained to always make meaning. What is the point? It changed how I see the world. It changed how I listened. Manshin, roughly translated, means listens with heart. It's a prescriptive and descriptive name. How does Manshin listen with heart? A few years after I graduated from my program, I was asked to interpret a Buddhist ceremony somewhat similar to this one that we're having today. And I knew nothing about Zen. So like a good interpreter, I was all in. I studied. I read the website. I read books about Zen. I did everything I could to make sure that I was prepared and could interpret appropriately for this assignment. Wear black. I'm good. Interpreters always wear black. Caucasian interpreters always wear black. No eye contact. Okay, no eye contact. No eye contact. No eye contact. If somebody sneezes, let it go. they've sneezed. It's done. It's over with. Okay. I got that. I got that rule. I got that rule. Don't do anything. Look down. Don't blah, blah, blah. Okay. I know what to do. So then to really understand this culture, this Zen culture, I signed up to arrive very early during the day of the ceremony. It was during a week-long session that they had already been sitting 2 or 3 days for. So I signed up for essentially what is a zazen, kind of like a 12-hour sit. It would be 14, but I wasn't that dedicated. I didn't want to get there at 5 a.m. So I decided to come during, I was encouraged to come during their breakfast, during, well, we'll loosely call it a break. So I arrived, I walked in to this, it was being held at some type of monastery, like a Christian monastery of sorts. And they weren't eating oryoki. It was like a big cafeteria style with plates and bowls. And so I could hear clink, 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 clink against the bowls, whatever they were eating. Clink, clink, clink. Okay, so now I know where to go. So I go there and I walk in and it's this sea of black robes and nobody's making eye contact. And I don't know what to do. Crap, I'm not supposed to talk to anybody, but I'm here to interpret. And then thankfully, someone broke protocol and they made eye contact and they went. And that's how I met Joan Sensei. All those years ago. So in this time, Joanne and I reviewed many koans. I mean, no, I just got it last night. I don't know. We spoke about what koan resonates with me. Honestly, koans have been quite the challenge for me, as you would imagine, as a trained maker of meaning in a Zen concept. What does it mean? What does it mean? So thinking, what does it mean? What does it mean? What does arising and vanishing unceasing? How would I interpret that? This is an embodiment practice. Interpreting is an embodiment practice. I take in the words and then I take all of the considerations and then I put forth something, hopefully that makes sense. My interpretation, my meaning. My issue, though, is that the embodiment practice has kind of stopped at the head. So thinking about it, thinking through, what does it look like? So in this koan, it's written, the second line, Yantu shouted and said, comma. He said, comma. Whose arising and vanishing is it? Well, did he shout? Bah! Whose arising and vanishing? Or did he say, whose arising and vanishing is it? Because that will change how I interpret it. That's going to change how this is set forth. How is it interpreted? How is Manshin interpreting this? Oh, it doesn't come naturally. It's absolutely a practice. And in truth, how he said it in this context, in this koan, it doesn't matter. It absolutely doesn't matter. What is the intent? What is the intent? Sitting with it. Sitting with it. What is vanishing? What is arising? Whose vanishing and arising is it? I have a sense my mom's sitting there going, "Ooh, you are your father's daughter." Like, 100%. So after meditating for a while on these koans, I came up with this one, this beautiful, beautiful koan. When arising and vanishing go on unceasingly, what then? Whose arising and vanishing is it? Mjoran, is it yours? Scott, is it yours? Maybe it's Sensei's. Maybe it's Sensei's horizon on the bench. I've been thinking about my dad a lot as of late. 10 years ago, almost 10 years, not quite 10 years ago, I started writing about my experiences co-caretaking of my dad after he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And I came and I stayed with my mom and my dad and stepped in. As any favorite daughter would. As any favorite child would. As any only child would. Keishan was actually one of the first people that I shared my writing with back in the day. So this is almost 10 years ago, as I said. And then 2 years ago, I got serious. And I said, this is going to be a memoir. I need help. So I hired a team of people to help me. I had a rough idea of the stories that I wanted to tell. They were kind of there, but I knew when I wanted to publish. It was Father's Day last year. So that arose and vanished very quickly. Very quickly. And I thought, though, oh, you know what? This is perfect. This is perfect. My dad would have been 80, May 18th of this year. May 18, 2026, he would have been 80. That is my publishing date. This was meant to be, obviously. How could it be anything else? And so this started as a thought, and then it became an expectation. May 18th, I'm honoring my father on his birthday. Could anything be more perfect than this? Publishing had been delayed before. With good reason, though, obviously. My memoir, the memoir, mine, whose is it? Focuses on time with my dad that I spent focused on fixing him. I knew I was going to heal my dad. I knew I was going to fix him. And yesterday, during Joanne's talk, he spoke about that word fix, to affix, unmoving. You affix something. I was fixed on fixing my dad. So one of my approaches to healing was like physical activity. So we went on a lot of walks, many, many walks, which now I'm looking back on and like really kin. They were meditative in nature, absolutely. My father was an astrophysicist, a literal rocket scientist. When people are like, it's not rocket science. No, it really is. Like, it's rocket science. He was also my very best Zen teacher, Aldous. So my dad was a Jew from Brooklyn. In our family, we say he was more Ish than Jew. Not cool. So we would go on these walks. There was a rose garden, very close to where my parents live. And we'd go for these walks. And he would just point at a rose, at a flower. And I would ruin the moment and blurt out, oh, beautiful. And my dad would blurt out, direct expression, no words needed. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. I would ask him questions, hoping to kind of spark that astrophysicist brain of his. Like, I really wanted to keep his brain active. So I would say things like, how many stars are there? And his answer was, all of them. All of them. Just all of them. he would say, I know. I know. I know that I know you. Who are you? Who are you? What a great Zen question. Who's arising and vanishing, you said? And I would respond, I can tell you, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who I am. What's important is the meaning of our relationship. And that I love you very, very much. And I'll tell you who I am if you really want to know. And sometimes he was like, yeah. And then I had to say, I'm your daughter. And you're my dad. It's really hard. It was really hard. So in this moment, I had to think about who I was. And while my dad was vanishing in a way, he was also arising as this new being. I called him Dad 2.0. A morphing into something. I had to let go of the label that is associated with daughter. And I had to let go of the label that's associated with dad. My dad, thoughtful, caretaker, stubbornly obstinate sometimes, brilliant philosopher, astrophysicist. Daughter, relying on dad for validation. Vanished. And that allowed for this beautiful arising of a new relationship. That is my phone. And so it allowed for this arising. And dad was transforming into something different. Something new. So we'll hear soon about this Shupe. I get to give a little spiel on it. Is it a Shupe?
It's sheepy.
Shupe. Maybe is it a flower though? From here it kind of looks like a dragon. It's a snake. It's a snake. It transforms. Is it better when it's a flower? Is my dad better before than after? Or maybe he's worse. What meaning do we add to phenomena? Better, worse? Sickness, health. When the Dharma wheel turns in such a way that makes us feel things, that stirs things up, are we able to allow it to rise and vanish? Can we ride this wave that goes up and down unceasing? Son of a bitch. So I was writing this memoir for 2 years. I was being very vulnerable, pouring out my heart, being very raw with these people about my dad. And I needed to access these very painful memories in order to write this story. So I would go to the library and I would sit in front of my laptop. Oh, just to be clear, I had a private room because I am an ugly crier and I don't want anybody. So, all out on the page. Memories coming up, expressing them with my tears. And then the library would close. So I would close my laptop put it in my bag. I would go to my car. I would drive to Tops. I would go in, entering the produce section. Strawberries. Red strawberries. There's my dad. Red strawberries. Ooh, they're 2 for $7? Yes. Yes. No, there's no question. Who's arising and vanishing? Is it? Who's arising and vanishing? Is it? So after months and months and months of writing, I was told, we're good to go to beta readers for proofreading. We got this. The author knows what I'm talking about. Ready to go to feedback. I was told it was going to be a pretty tight timeline. It was going to be a tight timeline. Totally manageable. Totally manageable. And I also knew how things were going to flow. I was going to publish a book. And then my mom and I were going to go on this epic road trip, doing a book tour, starting up in Alaska and then working our way down, going around. My book would take off. It was going to be amazing. Truly amazing. Truly amazing. And then I was informed by email that the beta readers who were going to give me feedback on my book would be receiving their copies on May 18th. Mother. May 18th. I said May 18th. So what arose was the fiery anger of 1,000 suns. And what vanished was sanity. The window. I grew up in a very rural part of New Jersey. And I was surrounded by trees and forests and I couldn't see our neighbors. And there were vines hanging down from these trees. It was wild. It was so much fun. And my neighbor and I would climb on the vines and swing. It was great, like playing Tarzan, swinging on these vines. But we had to hold on really tight or else you'd fall down. But if you hold on really tight, you can't grab the next vine and move. You're stuck here, swinging back and forth with all of this arising and vanishing happening around you. Oh, there's a vine. Nope, nope, nope. I got this one. Nope, I got this one. I'm good. I'm good. Okay, but here's another. Nope. No. Clinging chokes out arising and vanishing. Arising and vanishing is still happening. Just not for me. Not for me in that moment. I can't see it. I'm clinging. And then the only things that were arising were my thoughts of failure. I failed to do what I needed to do to get this book published in the same way that I failed at fixing my fail. I failed to get this done. Who's arising and vanishing is it? And I'm really fortunate to have the most incredible Sangha here. So fortunate. Mjoren and K-Sui and I went on a hike a few weeks ago, and I told them my story. It's right. This is just a story. It's my story. And we hiked up this trail. It kind of like went up a mountain, and looking back now, of course, memories are what they are. But I just feel like our conversation followed this, like talk, silence. Talk, silence. Talk. Oh, precipice. Rosendale. And then we walked in. And I have Keishan and Jiryu to thank for like lessening the burning of 1,000 suns. We shared a meal together. And that was profoundly helpful. Kaishan is a New York Times bestselling author who just published her 9th book, Parks and Recreation, which you can find at your local.
It's at Literally Books, Water Street Market.
You can buy it at Literally Books on Water Street Market.
Jeffrey Abra.
Here's a link. They reassured me. They reassured me that it's going to be okay and that they were there for me all the time. Guido read my book. Guido got a copy of a rough draft that was not ready for proofreaders, but he got it and he read it. Sensei listened to me weep deeply during our joke song. Sorry, I know we're not supposed to talk about this. This sangha allowed me to go. Priceless. Sangha is priceless to me. Drew spoke on this past Friday about his experience in India. How this idea of right turning circumambulation is thousands and thousands and thousands of years old. And that the word wheel that we use today is also rooted in language that is thousands and thousands and thousands of years old, and that language has vanished. The language has vanished. Just like we will vanish at some point. So what arises and vanishes is all part of this Dharma wheel that continues to turn and turn and turn. And so this memoir is continuing to arise and to vanish still. In order to write this book, I had to crack open my heart. I had to crack open my heart. I was musing. So Lockhart is a chosen last name. Lockhart is actually my maternal great-grandmother's maiden name. Lockhart. The website for the Lockhart clan, which is Scottish, says that our motto is in Latin, Corda serata pando. I unlock locked hearts. Mm-hmm. Oh, mine? I can do that. I can unlock your heart, but I have to unlock my heart. Yeah, I have to unlock my heart so I can serve, so I can fulfill my duties as a Lockhart. I had to, in writing this book, allow all of the pain and all of the grief and all of the sadness to arise. I had to remember seeing my dad strapped down in a hospital bed because they were afraid that he was going to elope. They were afraid that he was going to get out of Dodge. And frankly, I would not have blamed him one bit. I had to remember my dad's 6'4" frame in a hospice bed, wasting away. I had to remember my dad's nurses calling my mom. We had left the hospice room to get lunch. And I had just taken my last bite of my falafel sandwich. You need to come back now. You need to come back now. But I'm saving him though, but I'm fixing him. I'm fixing him. This can't be happening. Ah! I'm going to fix him. And then I got to remember my mom and my dad and I singing in the living room. Celia, You're breaking my heart. Feel free to join in. You're taking my confidence, baby. Oh, Cecilia, I'm down on my knees. I'm begging you, please, to come home. Come on home. I got to remember arm wrestling with my dad, who I would cheat so bad. We would lock hands. And I would take my other hand and be like, oh, and like it was nothing. It's like, are we starting yet? Like, is this happening? I got to remember our walks where he asked me who I was. And I got to remind myself that it didn't matter. It absolutely didn't matter. The words and the labels don't matter. The meaning, the intent, the core of our relationship. What's the point? Yesterday, Joanne offered us this beautiful, beautiful Dharma talk. And he used, and perhaps you noticed them on your way up, the potholes in the driveway, as an example, as a metaphor for our practice and our lives. And in his research to learn how to fix the potholes, he learned we had to irritate the sides and then cover them in water so that they could accept the healing breath, so that they can accept being complete, becoming whole. They needed to be roughed up to be more open. Your book isn't going to be completed on your timeline. Your dad's brain is shrinking. You're going to have to expose your entire being as Shuso. On Friday, also, Jiryu said at the end of his talk, you're being X-rayed. And in my mind, I think you were like, best of luck. You know, I have, for the most part, escaped scrutiny, eyeballs, because as an interpreter, I'm like, that's not my words. They said it. They did it. They did it. I get to be a leopard covering myself with fog, changing my spots. I'm not here. I'm here, but I'm not. You don't get to know. You don't. Until I become Shuso, and then I'm X-rayed. And this koan is so superficially simple. So simple. Vanishing, arising, ceases, unceased, just keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. And when I was preparing, it's in here. It's not in here, it's in here. Arising and vanishing happens. So what happens when this little, sweet little koan, sweet little thing, cuts me to my core? Writing the book started this crack in my heart. And this koan was like an arrow. Who's arising and vanishing, is it? And when it goes on unceasing, what then? What then? The Dharma wheel continues to turn. Continues to turn. My dad's skin bag vanished in 2019. He's still very much around. Hi, Dad. Still here. So 2019. And how grateful. Because 2020, little thing called COVID. And I was in Allentown at my mom's house, waiting it out. And then I had an opportunity to come to New Paltz and to be with my teacher. And so we started sitting, learning, and then others came. And now we have this beautiful, caring, loving, kind community here at our Deer Path Hermitage. Who would have thunk? So I have one story that coming close to the end of my talk. And my dad, so garbage night in Allentown's Thursday, in case you're interested. It's recycling and garbage. And so my dad and I, as his Alzheimer's addled brain was kind of very present, I would ask him to help me take the garbage out, even though I was really helping. I was asking him to help me because it was just a lot, cans and where do things go, and he was unable to figure out how to stack things up, so we'd go and we'd go in the evening, and we'd have our kin him with the garbage to where the garbage had to be dropped off, and then we'd walk back, and on the walk back he would look up at this like star-filled sky, and he would literally point to the moon. He would point to the moon. And I asked him, actually, I will take a little sidestep here. So I would have my phone with me. My dad also had a telescope because he wanted to be intimate with these stars. He wanted to see what was going on. And so I had my phone with that night sky app where you just point it up to the sky and it tells you the constellations, stars, whatever you're looking at. His mind was blown. Like, what did I do all this studying for? He was amazed by my app, and he just stood there like, oh, like looking at all these stars, looking at all of them. My dad said, the stars are my friends. I love looking at them. And they are so much bigger than anyone can ever know. They are a connection. The moon is reflecting us. It's so clear. The connection is that we are all stars. We're all stars. And we all see the stars. And what comes to mind for me is Buddha recognizes Buddha. So when we see pain, suffering arising, how do we respond? Whose pain and suffering is it? What do I do when we see the suffering of our fellow stars? How do we respond? It is our responsibility to take care of all suffering sentient beings. It's our task. And that's all of us. We are all suffering sentient beings. So in the words of another great bodhisattva, Beyonce, let's heal the world one beautiful action at a time. I did it. I told you I was going to talk about it. I'm going to leave you with a verse that I wrote. Looking at the mirror in order to see the stars, looking at the stars in order to see ourselves, an infinite loop of seeing and being, arising and vanishing. How clear and bright. Mm. Mm. Oh, yes. There is a verse that's along with this case, and I've asked Kaiku to read it.
Severing, folding, tangling vines, opening up a fox lair, a leopard covers itself with fog to change its spots. A dragon rides the thunder to change its bones. Rising and vanishing in profusion. What is it? Severing old entangling lines, opening up a box flare. A leopard covers itself with fog to change its spots. A dragon rides the thunder to change its bones, while rising and vanishing in profusion. What is it? Severing old entangling vines, opening up a fox lair. A leopard covers itself with fog to change its spots. A dragon rides the thunder to change its bones. Rising and vanishing in profusion. What is it? Severing old entangling vines, opening up a fox lair. A leopard covers itself with the fog to change its spots. A dragon rides the thunder to change its bones. Rising and vanishing in profusion. What is it? A severing old entangling vine, opening up a fox lair. A leopard covers itself with fog to change its spots. A dragon rides the thunder to change its bones. Rising and vanishing in profusion. What is it? Severing old entangling vines, opening up a fox lair. A leopard covers itself with fog to change its spots. A dragon rides the thunder to change its bones. Rising vanishing in profusion. What is it? Severing old entangling vines, opening up a fox lair. Leopard covers itself with fog to change its spots. A dragon the thunder to change its bones. Rising and vanishing in profusion. What is it? Severing old entangling vines, opening up fox lair. A leopard covers itself with fog to change its spots. A dragon rides the thunder to change its bones. Rising and vanishing in profusion. And what is it severing all in the inescapable, inexhaustible lion's roar? Well,
I will use this.
oh, how will you use this, Shupe? Thank you.
Again. To take life. Freely giving life. And take me. This is a 3-foot long black snake. A long time ago, it was a Kanpura flag on Mount Guruputra. And then on Mount Shorin, it was a plum blossom. Sometimes it transforms into a dragon and swallows heaven and earth. And sometimes it transforms into a diamond sword with the freedom to take life and to give it to you. And right now, in accord with the order of my teacher, it lies in my hands. I feel like a mosquito trying to bite an iron bolt. However, being assigned head monk, I must fulfill my duties. So you dragons and elephants in this Dharma hall, confront me in Dharma combat. Kaiku, you go first. Oh, there.
Attention, Shuso. Sure, there's a rising and vanishing. But when there is no self and no other, no gain, no heart, no attainment. Tell me, what brings you to this mountain seat?
Rule in the first bowl.
Thank you for your teaching.
May your life go well.
Mioran.
Attention, Shuso.
Attention, Shuso. If there is no one who is arising and vanishing, how does a non-self assert boundaries when appropriate?
Whose boundaries are
I don't know.
How does a non-self have boundaries?
That's my problem.
What's behind your question?
Thank you for your answer.
May your life go well.
Caseway.
Attention, Shuso. In his talk on Friday, Jiryu said, nothing is permanent. And what arises in me is great sadness. And yet you cannot argue with the truth of that. I heard in some chat, I can't recall it right now, something about joy. So my question is, how does one allow for the arising to be joy along with the sadness?
You need joy and you need sadness. They are one and the same. They are in concert with each other. They are necessary in order to work. Just like our sangha, we're necessary to sleep.
Thank you for your answer.
Mayor, let go on.
Trey.
Attention, Shuso. Thank you for your beautiful talk. I heard you talk about your father finding himself in the stars. And I'm wondering, where do you look to find yourself?
In the mirror. My sangha. In the eyes of the people that I'm interpreting with. With bird song. Cooking. With meditating, with writing. And if I have enough wherewithal to like stop clinging to what I think that looks like for me, but possibilities are endless.
Thank you, Shuso.
May your life go on.
Scott.
Attention, Shuso.
Take that.
I'm wondering, what is it that arises, changes, and perhaps vanishes when, for example, you were talking about a walk with your father and he encountered a rose and pointed at it, and then you said, beautiful. Or when interpreting a deaf person, their expression, their sign, and when we put it into spoken language, what is it?
Problematic, flawed. Missing the point. And then doing our best to have direct experience. To allow for whatever's arising to arise, whether it be looking at a flower or saying to a deaf person, I'm sorry, can you say it again? I didn't catch that. That is ruinous for me. Are you kidding? 20 plus years of experience, and I have to go, I didn't get that. That's a crack in my heart. That's opening my heart. That's direct experience.
Thank you for your teaching.
May your life go well.
Cation.
Attention, Shuso.
Yes, Kate.
If, as Scott just indicated, if language kind of fails us or isn't enough, why books?
Beats me.
I haven't figured it out.
And you're right though. Because as Casey pointed out, with much sadness, there's joy. And I think that books give people joy, or else why read them? Why read them?
Why write them?
Why write them? Why write them if they're not giving you joy and giving others joy? And yeah, words are fairly meaningless, but every once in a while you read a sentence and you're like, oh. Frederick Bachman has a sentence that has stuck with me. And I don't remember which book it's from, but he talks about, he likens something to it being like a spider sitting on a melting ice cream. I thought it was lovely and delightful. And it has stuck with me. So that's why we write the books. That's why we read the book.
Why did you want to write a book?
I felt I had a story to tell. I still do feel like I have a story to tell. And I've said repeatedly, like, this isn't a help book. You meet one person with Alzheimer's and you've met them. Like, this isn't a how-to book. This is a how I did book. And if people can gain something from it, then fantastic. Well, thank you for your answer. May your life go well.
Attention, Shuso. So you've been Shuso now for a while, right?
Yeah.
And you've done marvelously here today in the Shuso Hossen and the talk. So tell me right now, what's arising for you and what's vanishing?
Can you hold this just for a minute? Oh, that's so, the pillows are so cool. Mm. And immense gratitude. It's overwhelming in the best of ways. Seeing clearly our songbirds and the people that are in this room.
Thank you for your answer.
May your life go well.
Thank you for your answer.
May your life go well.
Thank you for your answer.
May your life go well. Being immature and insufficient in training, I did not expect to be asked to be head trainee. I feel as if a crime has been committed that could fill the heavens. And there's nowhere on earth for me to hide. I hope there is enough water in the Wallkill to clear my words from your ear. Water flows and returns to the sea.
So we will now have a number of celebratory poems. And I will start with mine. Manchin. Using your Avalokitesvara arms, you translate words into signs, connecting worlds, the same way you put in words what it means to walk with a father who can't recognize you anymore, and yet he knows he still loves you. The way you care for all living things. No one is excluded from this. I've known you on the path for a long time. We shared sits, session rooms, our brokenness, and the way we healed. I am grateful to witness you now on this leg of your journey, translating the Dharma for us from words into the beating message of the heart. Congratulations, Shuso. Jiryu.
Mhm. There once was.
Yes, right, yes. Uh-huh. Wait, start again. I haven't heard the first.
Okay. There once was a Shuso named Mansha,
Mhm.
for whom Concho brought the white conch in. He blew it so loud, it drew a big crowd. Beck's still tallest with her long shins.
Oh, thanks.
Congratulations, Shuso.
Thank you, cheerio.
You go.
Cation.
Oh, all right. Resilience, dedication, creativity, sincerity, sunny optimism with just enough dark edge to make me love you. And a love for Beyonce that makes me trust you. So proud to have you as our first shoe set.
Thank you.
Guido.
The wind gale courses across the mountains and is absorbed by the forest. Trees rustle and bend as a bird darts from a branch, screeching loudly. Soon the wind calms and the wood grows quiet, revealing other, subtler sounds. Entering this small 10 by 10 foot hermitage that contains the whole universe, Shuso takes her seat, illuminating myriad teachings that flow endlessly in the 10 directions, coursing over mountains, becoming absorbed by the forest. Shuso-sama, open and talk with us.
Thank you, Kenzo.
Concho.
Thank you. Oh, don't tell me.
I want that one.
Opening her heart, the gate of wisdom made clear. A compassionate smile as the wood thrush calls out.
Mm.
Love, solace, all here, just this. Congratulations, Susan.
Thank you, Concho.
Mioran.
Um, so as I understand, you're getting a new name soon. So ode to the Queen of Swords. Just do so, the one formerly known as Manshan. She is the Queen of Swords, listening, interpreting. She wields the sword in Gasho in gratitude for the relative and absolute, communicating clarity, truth and truths, not finite, not cold, metallic, calloused, calculus. She reminds me truth is beautiful, and even when it lies in chaos, and weaves harmony, and she weaves harmony. Rippling, radiant, expansive. I am unburdened and yet not burdening. She is a queen because she is not a queen, but because she is the sword. Thank you.
Caseway.
There are languages not heard with ears. Languages spoken with human gestures or feline behavior. There is a Shuso fluent in these languages. And some others too. Attention, gentleness, connection. Her caring heart speaks clearly. The Sangha hears and is grateful.
Joan.
The one who opens the door often enters last. The one who gives voice to the teachings is rarely heard speaking herself. Hands that prepare, hands that clean, hands that make the teaching available to all. Shuso, your footsteps have steadied our own. There is no place you can hide, and we see you everywhere we look. Congratulations, Shuso.
May this dana be extended to all sentient beings, and may we realize our sincere vows to accomplish the Buddha way together.
Om yes, throughout space time. Om Holy Side of Ajna Arahita.
Take your time standing.
Oh, smile! Whoa!